and welcome to Tea Time with Paige, or in this month of June, LGBT Time with Paige. I'm here at the home of the Lanark Highlanders with some very special guests.
My name's Julia Schell, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a member of the Canadian Women's Rugby team.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle, and my pronouns are she, her, elle, and I'm part of Ottawa Wolves. We are a queer inclusive rugby team, and we're Ottawa's only international gay rugby team.
Thank you. We've been asking members of our community in this last month about various Pride stimulating questions that I would like to get your guys' takes on. So how are we celebrating Pride this month?
Well, I'm celebrating Pride by being as colorful as I can. So this is the first Pride that I'm officially out as queer. So it's all about self-affirmation for me and discovering this part of me.
I would say, especially in the rugby community, there's a lot of queer people. So just like lifting those up around me, hearing everyone's stories, sharing resources wherever I can.
How would you say that rugby kind of exhibits those values of inclusion in this Pride Month?
Well, I mean, even when you look at a rugby team, like you see every size of person, every shade of person, like every kind of person can play rugby, and I feel like that just speaks to the community as a whole. There's a place for everyone on the field and off the field, so I just feel like that community is so welcoming and like everyone has a place.
Absolutely, and inclusivity, it's such a broad topic, and there's so much that we can do with that. And I think it's beautifully reflected with the Ottawa Wolves because we are an inclusive team, and even most of our players are part of the community, most of our board members are part of the community. So we are committed to offering that safe, inclusive space for everyone and all athletes.
Totally. Yeah, I think it really accelerated my coming out as a queer person being in the rugby community because it's so welcoming and so open. And like when you think about a queer community and you think about the rugby community, I find that the values are so overlapped, and there's something really, really beautiful about a sport that we savage each other on the pitches and then can be so loving and welcoming.
Absolutely. That's actually what happened to me too. I heard about Ottawa Wolves, how it was inclusive, and I thought to myself, perfect, I'm an ally, so I'm gonna join. And turns out, you know,
More than an ally.
queer. That's how they get. Here we go. I'm just so supportive.
Gabby, I'm looking forward to hearing from you about Ottawa Wolves specifically. Like, how does the Ottawa Wolves kind of like allow that space of inclusivity to bring people into the rugby community who are a part of the queer community?
Absolutely. So I'm going to start from the beginning, just with our recruiting process, right? We go into the community and we promote our club to everyone, whether they're allies or people that are part of the community themselves, to come participate, join the team in whichever capacity they can. So whether that be as an actual player, as a supporter, as somebody who comes in and runs water for us during our games, or you know, anybody that might feel lost in any kind of way as they're either transitioning or discovering themselves and want to feel that sense of community, and they could just come see us, come to practice and enjoy what, you know, Wolves has to offer and what the community has to offer. So it's, yeah.
That's great, thank you. And when we look at the rugby community, how can allies better support the queer community going forward?
I think a big piece of that is education. So committing ourselves to ongoing learning and education and evolving just as allies and as members of society. I mean, we are used to our own lived experience, so it's really important to go out into the community and learn about other people's lived experiences.
But like asking questions, like it's important to like,
questions.
Don't be intrusive, don't be inappropriate by any means, but like if you want to know something more about the queer community and get to know us, ask questions, be inquisitive.
Being present, I find, is huge. A lot of the time, you know, we don't know, so we kind of keep our mouths shut, but it's all about being very vocal and going out there and seeking information. I mean, it's there, you just have to look for it. So promote queer-owned businesses, educate yourself, you know, support local queer sports teams, right? Come out to the Wolves, come check us out. So
Julie, is there anything maybe that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, we have so many amazing grassroots programs now, and rugby, especially in Canada, is starting younger and younger. So I think just like empowering those young athletes from that age, just let them know like what there is, show them every kind of athlete, show them every kind of rugby player, non-rugby player, like just like promoting like healthy sport and having coaches in those positions, especially at that crucial age, like teens, stuff like that, just to know that they are supported, I think is so huge. When you're kind of in that weird transition time, you're like figuring out yourself, you're figuring out life, like there's so much coming at you. So having people in those like positions of power to help empower the athletes.
Yeah. And I do think that there's like that, you know, there's something in the news recently about a certain sports organization not allowing like pride stuff. And like, I think like it's obviously a bit sticky when there's like politics in sports, but sports, it's emotional, and like it's important that the community can see that like that sport is inclusive, that sport wants me, that sport wants everyone. And I think like that's why it's important to keep wearing shirts that say Rugby Canada and, you know, emboss a rainbow on one's chest.
Yeah, I think just like branding in this day and age is so huge. So I'll go back to kind of what I was saying about like grassroots rugby, and like it's kind of like see it, be it, that kind of thing. Like you see people in these positions playing at any kind of level, and you resonate with them in one way or another, whether it's how they identify, their sexual orientation, like their ethnicity. So just like making sure that stays on the forefront and giving those people a voice, I think is just so important. With the social media like access that we have these days, like it can get anywhere. So it's like if it reaches that one kid, then it's like
check mark. And that's been Tea Time with Paige. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay an ally, stay queer, everybody.
So especially during June, we obviously like to sport our Pride kit. So $10 from every purchase of these shirts goes towards the International Gay Rugby Association, and those funds go back into supporting queer communities in Canada, just like the Ottawa Wolves.